So how to sell a home fast is probably one of the top search queries for Google for those starting to consider selling their home. While part of the reason is to sell quickly, the other huge benefit for many sellers is the ability to sell their home for more money. Now, the reality of living in your home while getting your home show ready feels like you're trying to run a 5-star hotel without any paid staff. And while this may seem a bit overwhelming while trying to wage the battle of declutter and depersonalization, no need to fear. I've actually provided a link in the description below for a staging checklist that will help you keep you on track and help your property sell quickly as well as for more money. The good news is that staging doesn't have to be expensive. Staging can take the form of decluttering, depersonalizing, removing dated window treatments, rearranging, or removing existing furniture. Now, I'm Harold Powell, a local real estate agent in the Ventura, California area, and if you're new to the channel and want to stay up to date on all things real estate, I suggest hitting the subscribe, like, and bell icon to be notified of future content. Now, of course, there is always the option to hit the easy button and hire a professional stager to come in and help with the furniture and accessories. Now, depending on the size of the home and what needs to be brought in, will largely determine the cost. And I will say, on average, staging for furniture for a living room, kitchen, dining area may cost somewhere around $1,500. Otherwise, today's video is designed to try and work with what you currently have. Now, you may wonder, is staging really worth it? Well, scientifically, staging is proven strategy to sell your home faster and for more money. A recent study for the National Association of Realtors found that buyers are willing to spend anywhere from 1% to 5% more on a stage home. And in some cases, a neglected property can see as much as a 10% or more increase in the value. So the additional benefit is that according to the Realtor.com, staged homes sell 88% faster than the non-staged home. And who doesn't want to sell their home faster? Now, if you look past the number side, buyers are really making an emotional purchase and they want to feel like they're really getting a great value for the money. So they want to feel like the house has been well maintained, so there are no surprises once they own it. And really, a well-staged home evokes a positive emotional connection, and staging really can help minimize the negatives and accentuate the positives. So today I will cover 6 different areas in the house and how to prepare your house for staging. The strategy really behind staging is to showcase your home's greatest qualities to the largest audience of buyers so that you can get the best price in the shortest amount of time. Now, since there is a fair amount of information to cover on this subject, I will provide a staging checklist in the description below just to make it easier to stage your home. Now, today's video will focus on the interior staging of the home. At the same time, I don't want to forget to address your curb appeal. So make sure you trim up the trees and the plants, tidy up the planter beds, power wash the house and the driveways, the walkways for stains. Curb appeal will definitely set the tone before a buyer even steps a foot inside the property. So before we get to the 5 rooms, the 2 least expensive and best things to do when staging your home are declutter and deep clean. Most stagers will reduce the amount of furniture in a house as much as 50%. So the other way to think of clutter is that clutter eats your equity. And when you have less stuff in the space, well, it appears bigger. And when you have too much stuff in your space, it really feels cramped and small. A good realtor obviously can help you identify what items should be removed. And the benefit of a deep clean is that it signals to the buyers that the seller takes care of the property and it's in good condition. A clean home will always allow a buyer to focus on the property's features rather than the negatives of dirt, clutter, or even bad odors. Now, as you step inside the home, you want to make sure that it's not cramped and that it's light and bright in the entry area. So that may require painting or removing some items right from the get-go. Adding a mirror for extra light helps, or a neutral print frame And if there's room, a small table with just a few decorative items or a plant works really well in the entryway. Depending on the layout of your home, the living room is often the next space the buyer will walk into next. And here we will often look at rearranging and removing furniture. So if you have any oversized pieces that are just taking up too much space, then you probably need to remove it. And it might be time to consider even renting a storage unit or putting things in the garage. So the living room should also have a clear focal point, and the furniture should be arranged around it. Choose something like a fireplace or entertainment center or a coffee table, and trying to aim for symmetry and balance by placing matching items on either side of your focal piece. A couple other bonus tips are like hanging a mirror adjacent to a window to brighten up the room with more natural light and make the space appear more open. Number 2, floating the furniture away from the walls creates an illusion of more space, and we do want to make sure we create more space. Now, once you've decluttered and staged the furniture and you're wondering if you should add some additional decor, well, generally one of the best decor items are small houseplants that can add some life and energy into the room without creating a jungle. Secondly, if there is a fireplace, you can create a balanced focal point by using a large neutral wall art piece just above the fireplace. Next, we'll look at the kitchen. The kitchen really is one of the most important rooms to focus on, and the two most important issues are clean and clear. Clear the countertops so they're almost bare except for a few functional and decorative items. You obviously want to clean and shine all the countertops, appliances, and windows. Next thing to stage a kitchen is just to update and refresh. Now, oftentimes just a few cosmetic changes can make a huge difference in updating the look of your kitchen and will go a long way with potential buyers. If cabinets are worn or dated, then having them painted a neutral color will give the kitchen a nice facelift. The other option is just to restain the cabinets over the existing stain using a gel stain. Then adding new cabinet hardware will do wonders to the look of the cabinets. Now, if the kitchen faucet is dated or worn, then replace it. Next, just make sure your kitchen cupboards, drawers, and pantry are neat and organized. You really want to pare down what's in the cabinets and pantry to about 70% or less range. It'll actually give the buyer a sense that there is room for their stuff as well. And if the space is jam full, well, then the buyers will likely assume that they won't have enough storage room as well. More is not better when staging a kitchen. Simple and uncluttered is best. Just a few simple accessories that will show off your space and draw attention to the kitchen's best features. Keep appliances on the countertops to a minimum and use maybe ones that add character or ambiance, such as a coffee maker. All right, so we're moving on to the dining room. The dining room table really is the focal point here, and you should make sure that the chandelier or low-hanging light fixture is centered over the table. The one mistake sellers make is not removing the extra table leaves here. So when you remove the extra leaves, it'll make the space appear larger and more open. It also creates a clean, uncluttered look that appeals to potential buyers. And keep table decorative items on the table to a minimum here. In open floor plans, a large rug can visually separate the dining area from the other living spaces and help better define the space. So make sure the rug is large enough that all chairs remain on the rug when they're pulled out from the table. Now, if there are blank walls here, adding mirrors or large pieces of neutral artwork that complements the room's style will help it tie it together. Next is bedrooms. As far as bedrooms go, staging the primary bedroom is definitely the most important room to stage. And really what you're looking to create here is a feeling of luxury. So how can you do that? Well, there are a few things you can do to create that feeling. Number one is really invest in high-end layered bedding and pillows that just create a luxurious and inviting look. Number two is consider placing a neutral calming art piece about 2/3 the width of the bed above the headboard as a focal point. Number three is flank the bed with a pair of nightstands matching or complementary in style just to add the symmetry. Number 4, a pro tip is if you can help it, don't position a bed in front of a window because it'll obstruct the view, potentially limit the amount of natural light. It's best if you can opt to position the bed against a wall with a window to the side or behind it instead. Number 5 is the other key to remember for all the bedrooms is the color palette. Going with a neutral color will make it much easier for a wider audience of buyers to envision themselves living there. So if you have bold colors or dark colors, painting it with a lighter neutral color will make the room feel bigger and more inviting. Now, lastly, with all the bedrooms, remove any bulky or unused furniture or accessories to free up the space and make your bedrooms feel bigger. Moving on to the bathrooms. You want to give your bathroom a spa-like feel for buyers. And really the best way to do that is to start to clean it thoroughly. Eliminate water stains, mold on surfaces, and then make it shine by replacing outdated fixtures, leaky faucets or tired mirrors, and medicine cabinets. So if you have tubs or showers or counters that are dated, you may want to consider reglazing them to a neutral color. It'll actually make the surface look brand new. Lastly, adding new towels and some scented candles complete this spa-like feel you're looking for. Now, really, we've covered all the areas I want to hit on, but my bonus tips are outside of cleaning and decluttering, the next best thing you can do to increase the value of your home is paint. A fresh coat of paint can modernize a home, create a neutral and inviting feel just by choosing the right paint color. Now, the good news is paint is one of the most cheap and effective ways of updating your home and gives you a great return on your investment when it comes to selling your home. For more information on that, I suggest watching my video on the magic of paint and how paint can actually add significant value to the sale of your home. Lastly, really is flooring. The area that you may need to take a look at is your flooring, and I will say that sometimes the first option when selling is not to replace the flooring. Instead, just consider it a good, thorough cleaning should always be the first option before you consider even replacing it. Of course, if this isn't an option because the flooring is worn out, stained, or dated, and it's going to turn the buyers off and create a negative experience, then it's probably a good idea then to replace it. Now the question is what type of flooring to change it to. Well, largely that will be determined by what you would typically see in your neighborhood or price range of similar properties that are currently on the market. And you'll just want to go online, take a look at flooring finishes that you would typically see for similarly priced homes. All right, well, I hope you found today's video helpful. If so, give it a thumbs up. Thanks.